was a part of the executive council at the time as a commissioner,
Yes.
right? Yeah. When you look back as being a commissioner, what are the things you find stand out in your mind about that job?
About being as a well, okay, as being as a commissioner, it was very nice to be helping people, you know, because people had need a lot of help, and they will come in, and especially when you have to deal with the understand list. It's a big, huge understand list, and people come in and ask you to help them because they need, and sometimes you really have to really make up your mind if I'm gonna help. Then you have to go and talk to the other commissioners and tell them, please sign for me to help this person or something like that. And it was very challenging because sometimes people expect you to do what you cannot do.
Now today it's completely different.
They expect you to do what you cannot do.
Yeah.
And that was a bad thing about it, because if you tell them there's no money in the cupboards, they don't believe you. You know? They want you to give them what they don't have. But you have to be careful as a commissioner what you give out, because then later on you'll be responsible for what you give out.
Right.
I know once I would take the task on that from the opposition.
Yeah.
They took me to task on that. They took me to task on land.
For helping people.
You know? They took me to task on that. And that time I gave up over 300 land.
300
land,
lots,
yeah. And I had it on paper to prove.
So it was done, you documented everything?
I had it documented. I still have it somewhere there in my files. I gave up a lot of land.
Because before that time, it was very difficult for individuals who requested government long lease land to get it.
I believe what happened in those days, the people was getting land. But when you see the hill that I developed, I would say I developed, not me, the government developed.
Point Blanche, eh?
Point Blanche.
Yeah.
That piece up there, I used to go up and sit down with Hippolyte, you know, to make certain they cut that the road that people could know where they could get piece of land. Because when they give out the land, they just give out land, but they didn't. You couldn't see where you were getting.
Really? Wow.
That's the way the land. So a lot of people had land up there. They claimed they had land. They claimed they had a bus lane, but I didn't see. So what happened? A lot of different people get land that didn't have land original from there, and then people would get mad and say, "But how you give this person I had land?" But at that time there was no control on the land. But when I give out the land, everybody know exactly what spot they were getting.
Wow.
You could see it because it was. I put people to work. Rahul, please to the dead. He sent the boys and they cut it up. He liked to see what I was doing.
Up there is beautiful, man.
And it's very beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
But the whole of that hill, I have really given it up.